Good day, everyone. Today, I will be presenting a case study about Cereles versus the Civil Service Commission. This case is very important because it talks about the security of tenure in the government sector, specifically when reorganizations are done in bad faith. So, in this case, Governor Aurora Cereles of Zamboanga del Sur implemented a provincial reorganization. This reorganization removed several permanent civil service servants and replaced them with new appointees. The Civil Service Commission found that reorganization was done in bad faith and ordered the reinstatement of the displaced employees. The governor, however, challenged this decision, so the case went up to the Supreme Court. Next, on the issues and concern. In this case, the main issues focus on three key points. First, whether the reorganization was valid and carried out in good faith, meaning it was done for legitimate administrative purpose or purposes and not simply to remove the employees for political or personal reasons. Second, whether the Civil Service Commission has the authority to review such reorganizations and strike them down if they are proven to violate the law and the principle of security of tenure. And third, whether the employees who were terminated are entitled to reinstatement and back wages if the organization is found invalid or tainted by bad faith. From the point of view of the Civil Service Commission and later the Supreme Court, security of tenure is a constitutional guarantee. This means that the government employees cannot just be removed without a valid cause. Reorganizations should not be used as a political tool to replace the employees with allies. The court further emphasized that any reorganization must be done in good faith, with a genuine purpose of improving efficiency, reducing redundancy, or promoting better public service. If a reorganization is proven to be tainted with bad faith or motivated with or by political patronage, it becomes invalid and the displaced employees have the right to be reinstated and compensated. So the statement of the problem, so the central problem here is, did the provincial government's reorganizations um, unlawfully deprive civil servants of their security of tenure? So, in other words, was the reorganization really for efficiency or just to remove existing employees? So another concern raised was whether the process followed the legal standards set by the Republic Act 6656, which protects the government workers during reorganizations. This law requires that any or are that any reorganizations must be justified by legitimate structural or efficiency and needs and must avoid arbitrary dismissal. Thus, the problem is not only about whether employees were removed, but also whether the entire process respected the constitutional and statutory safeguards designed to protect their rights. So, the objectives of this case study are to determine if the reorganization was legitimate. Second, to affirms the Civil Service Commission's authority to protect employees' tenure. and to ensure civil servants are not arbitrarily dismissed. So the areas of consideration, no, in analyzing this case, we should consider the following. Because number one is the constitutional rights to security of tenure. Second is the Republic Act number 6656, which protects employees during reorganizations. Next is the Civil Service Commission's supervisory role. And the last is, and the most importantly, whether the reorganization was done in good faith. So the alternative courses of action is that the court could have taken two possible courses of action. First, it could uphold the reorganization and keep the new appointments, which would mean recognizing the authority of the governor to recognize and allowing the changes to stand. Second, it could revoke the reorganizations, reinstate the displaced employees, and award back wages, it emphasizing the protection of their security of tenure. Another possible consideration, however, was to partially uphold the reorganization by validating only the portions done in good faith, while nullifying those that were clearly tainted, no, with political motivation or bad faith. This middle ground would balance the government's need to reorganize for efficiency while still safeguarding employees' rights. Next is on the advantages. So the advantages of revoking the reorganization is that it strongly protects the constitutional right to security of tenure of government employees. It sends a clear message that reorganizations cannot be used as a political tool to unfairly displace civil servants. By reinstating the displaced employees and awarding them with back wages, the decisions promotes fairness, justice, and accountability in public service. It also strengthened the role of the Civil Service Commission as the guardian of civil service laws, ensuring that any future reorganizations are done in good faith and in line with the Republic Act number 6656. So in the long run, this builds trust and stability within the government workforce, encouraging employees to perform better without fear of being arbitrarily removed. So the on the other hand, no, the disadvantages is that invalidating reorganizations and reinstating displaced employees can create several challenges. Number one, it may delay genuine reforms that aim to improve efficiency in government operations. It could also strain the resources of the government because paying back wages requires significant funds that might otherwise be used for development projects. Additionally, no, the reinstatement of employees might lead to organizational conflict between the reinstated workers and the newly appointed ones, potentially affecting workplace harmony. And lastly, it can cause tension between local officials and the Civil Service Commission, as elected leaders may feel their authority to reorganize for efficiency is being curtailed, even if the intent was legitimate. So, the best recommendation is to revoke the reorganization, reinstate the affected employees, and grant them back wages. At the same time, ensure that future reorganizations comply with the Republic Act 6656 and are done in good faith. So the plan of action includes number one, reinstating affected employees. Number two, paying back wages where applicable. Third, enforcing the Republic Act number 6656 in all reorganizations. And lastly, having the CSC or the Civil Service Commission monitor and train local governments on proper reorganization procedures. So this to end no my presentation, here are the references for this case study. The number one is the Supreme Court decision in Sereles versus the Civil Service Commission, the official Supreme Court e-library, the Republic Act 6656, which protects employees during reorganization. So these sources no, provide the legal basis for our discussion. And to close, no, in conclusion, this case teaches us that security of tenure in the government is a fundamental right. So reorganization should be genuine and done in good faith, not as a way to remove employees without valid reason. So thank you, and that ends my presentation. Have a good day, everyone.